So this segment ended up being so long and crazy and good. And also the rest of this video ended up getting so extended from like additional information I learned as we were going that I'm removing any of the Joy Reid stuff. And this is going to be in its own separate video. You're going to make sure you want to watch that for sure. But also this video went ham anyway. So buckle up. You're going to love it. And definitely look out for this video about Joy Reid. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So a UK teen who was out there, fighting the good fight, wanting to spread his values among his countrymen, was attacked with glue. And honestly, happening in the UK, you get attacked and they don't throw acid on you. I guess that's a win in and of itself. But yeah, there's he was doing things for Turning Point USA, and I think one of the craziest things that has happened since this entire Charlie Kirk thing happened is the level of vitriol that just suddenly became like suddenly Turning Point USA is now the ultra enemy. It's like, oh, there's, the big guy who's the president. And then just right behind is like anyone who's associated with Turning Point are global enemies of the left. We should throw urine on them. It's like, what? Like this is your arch enemy, Turning Point USA. Look at this. When did you see this nerd kid in this like thing that listen, he's not like, he doesn't look like a person who I'd be like, oh man, hey, what are you doing after this? You want to go catch if I was in the UK, you want to go catch a football match? I wouldn't let him join my firm, but nonetheless, this is just wild. We're going to be talking about this. We also are going to talk about something very important, which is another important lie that the security guard who did the Sean Ryan show, he told. Big lie, okay? Real big. And we're also, oh my God, I did not just do that. I've been waiting to cover that forever. I accidentally just did that, but that is the Joy Reid clip that we are going to be looking at, where she talks about a lot of things related to that. And man, I've been waiting to cover this like for hours, and I just accidentally closed it. I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll find it. But we're going to be covering that, and also this Broadway show that closed down because someone said that after it hailed Charlie Kirk in the wake of his assassination. Yeah. So someone was like, yeah, listen, Charlie Kirk was a great person. We're shutting down the entire Broadway show. Everything's fine, guys. America is in really good shape. Like, this is not something to be concerned about. This is good, dude. Everyone did all this work for this Broadway show, but listen, one of the actors said that they thought Charlie Kirk, a father of multiple children, Christian, without a criminal record and essentially without saying anything that they are, pretending that he said, he's a good guy. So we're shutting the whole thing down. All the work for nothing. No one's getting paid. We're just shutting it down, dude, because we have committed wrong speak. Okay. I don't like what I'm seeing from the right now, and I'll tell you exactly why, okay? People forget really fast, okay? People forget real fast. Like, right now, it did not take very long. People got used to the fact that, the current guy is in office, and we control all of the power bases, and people are naturally, especially on the right, very, very, skeptical of government. And so it's looking at stuff that they're doing currently in power, and we're attacking them because they're doing things that we don't agree with. But it's like, don't you dare lose sight of what the other side is. They just elected a person who said he wants to kill Republican children, okay? They shut down entire Broadway shows because someone said they liked a person that is an objectively good guy. These people are dangerous, okay? So we're going to be talking about all of that and more, actually. There's other stories, too. Now, if you guys do not mind subscribing to the channel, I will consider that a personal favor. Actually, no, I won't. You're not allowed to watch if you don't subscribe. So don't be the person that takes the candy and doesn't leave the quarter. And we're handshaking it. And also, if you guys will like this video, that would be amazing as well. Thank you. Now I need to go find that clip, and then we're going to get started. And why haven't you subscribed to the channel yet? It hurts my feelings. And if you could like this video, that would be amazing as well. All right, guys, you're not going to believe this. I was able to find it. So I did find it. So let's go through this story, and then we're going to get into it. All right, so check this out. Okay, UK teen claims people threw urine glue on him while he was promoting Charlie Kirk's Turning Point message. Oh, good. Wait till you guys see this kid, dude. 17-year-old British conservative activist known as Young Bob online says he received death threats and has been violently attacked while championing Turning Point UK's message. Oh, I can't imagine why. Because the UK is super well known for their very measured responses to people who are conservative. Okay, they're putting people in prison because they said like, hey, why am I paying taxes to pay for these services for people who are doing XYZ? It's like, that's a totally reasonable thing. They're all, you're going to jail. We're going to prison. If you think they're not going to try to run that game in the US, you're out of your mind. Okay. This is what I'm saying. This is the point that I'm making. And I realize it's the UK, but the UK is an example of where we go if we lose control. So as much as people are like, people, obviously there's a lot to be upset about. The Epstein files, too much support for a certain country that people think are doing whatever, like, believe me, I get it. There's a lot to be upset about, but do not lose sight of what happens if the real villains gain a foothold, like total control of the power base of government. The big guy cannot run again. Okay. He is an anomaly. They tried to kill him. Anyway. Okay. So, Thomas Moffat's last ordeal erupted on November 20th at the London School of Economics after he was invited by the University's Conservative Society to discuss the need for socially conservative values in Britain. Oh, what a crazy, oh, look at this kid, dude. That is the most punchable face I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. Ever. I've never seen a more punchable 17-year-old. I'm not saying actually punch him. Okay. God, I'm just saying, imagine that kid if you are not aligned with his, he looks like he's doing it on purpose. I think he is actually. So he says, we were invited to speak about socially conservative values within about an hour. People were taking pictures with us. Some people were genuinely debating in good faith. Then afterwards, outside of the hour frame that we had some decent discussions, we had a bunch of masked activists, firstly trying to steal our materials, then secondly trying to protest with a megaphone. They always do that. He said angry demonstrators also mocked the death of Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA and a central figure in the conservative youth politics, while trying to remove the group from campus. In their eyes, it must have just been seen as them trying to commit some sort of humiliation ritual. Moffat added, we're trying to continue Charlie's fight here in the UK. Good luck with that, man. He said that the protesters chants a very demoralized way of essentially mocking the death of a great man. And they got urine and whatever. What's the other thing thrown on them? Urine and glue thrown on them. So, oh, I love me a leftist protester. It's like, hey guys, we came here to debate our ideas. They're like, we won't debate fascists. They're like, but I'm not fascist. They're like, oh, you're not? It's like, no, I'm not. They're like, oh yeah, you're not? No, I'm not. I don't know. Unless you've changed the definition of the word, what do you consider to be a fascist? You. Okay. Well, if the definition of fascist is me, then yeah, I guess I'm a fascist. But as I understood it in terms of the political ideology, no. Exact opposite, actually, would be how I would, I'm a market capitalist. I'm a freedom-loving libertarian. Government should stay out of our business as much as possible. Let the free market, dictate terms. Now, this is the kid, by the way. I'm not some lunatic who thinks that if you just let all economics just be the sole driver of everything and you don't have regulations, okay, like these pigs will do whatever they want, honestly. Okay, you want to know what was fascist, guys? You want to know what fascism looks like? It looks like corporations and the government, okay, taking everything over together. And I don't know, could you think of anything that would reflect those ideas? Do you think that maybe when Pfizer forced us to, okay, that's like the definition of fascism. When you take away our job, you ruin our lives. If we're not willing to inject this thing that we've done more research on than everybody, apparently we've done more research than the people who are forcing it. Okay. That's fascist. Hey, you got it, right? Yes, I did. Did you know that you're the all-cause mortality? You know what? Nope, not doing that right now. Now, as you guys know, I work really hard. I try not to bombard you guys with ads, but Prize Picks is my #1 sponsor, and they always will be if I have anything to do with it. So watch a quick ad from them, and then we're going to get to the next story, which is a doozy. More specifically, we're going to be getting into exactly what security lied about, why they lied, and I can pretty much guarantee you that. And then we're going to do the Joy Reid thing. And as much as you might be most excited about the UVU thing, I promise the Joy Reid one is going to be the most fun for everyone involved. I promise. It's NFL time, and that means it's time for you to join Prize Picks. I don't understand. What's daily fantasy? I'll explain that later. What you need to know right this second is that if you deposit $5 and put it in play, they will guarantee give you a free $50 regardless of whether or not you win with that $5 entry fee. Wait, I deposit $5 and I get $50 back regardless of whether I win. Yes, that's correct. So that'd be a 10x return guaranteed. Yeah, that's correct. So who wouldn't do that? I don't know, man. You tell me. Everybody is doing it. So tell us what else we get aside from $50 free. Well, you get to play the best daily fantasy game on the entire internet. Talk to me like a child and explain to me how to play. Prize Picks could not make this game more simple. You're going to pick which sport you want to play, and then you're going to start picking players that you're going to add to your roster. Then we're going to decide whether they're going to get more or less than the stat line provided by Prize Picks. We're going Shedeur Sanders, and we're going more because we are eternal optimists. Let's say you want to start small and you put $5 in play on your first roster. You can win up to $187.50. But if you're a big baller and you want to put, let's say, $50 in play, you can win up to $1,875. But let's say you are a big wallet gangster and you want to put $500 into a single roster. You can win up to $18,750 if all of your players deliver. Now, we also got some new features coming in with this new football season, and you're going to be able to play the same player up to 3 times with 3 different stat lines if you want. It's already live on Major League Baseball and WNBA. When you go to Prize Picks, you use the link in the description and you sign up and you use promo code JesseOnFire. You are going to get a free $50 once you put $5 in play. Use the link in the description, sign up using promo code JesseOnFire, put in $5 in play, and get your free $50 back. That's a 10x return. You are welcome. I love all of you guys. Let's go. Oh, and just to reiterate, the number one way you can support my channel would be to go and create an account on Prize Picks, make a $5, $10 deposit, and play their game. That's incredibly helpful to me. Give it a run. Okay, so moving right along to here, though. Obviously, everybody saw the head of security that did the Sean Ryan show. I just want to touch on this super quick, okay? So he said that they were not allowed to use their drone, okay? Now, I'm not really sure. I might be late to the party on this because I know people have been saying that he lied. But this was, I actually for real read this entire thing, and it's like, it's not just a lie. It's an outright lie. And you got to wonder why, right? You got to wonder why. And I'm going to actually defend or explain to you why I think he would lie. Okay. I'm not saying he's involved. I have a very good reason why he would lie. Okay. So authorized visitors and contractors for purposes of this policy, individuals who are not UVU students, okay, bottom line, you're allowed to use drones. Okay. That's the takeaway. You're allowed to use drones. Okay. Bottom line, there is no way, okay, that anyone who had properly read the Utah Valley University policies and procedures could have possibly walked away with any idea that you were not allowed to use drones, because that's straight up not true, okay? Not even like partially true. It's just not true, okay? There. It literally just says you have to, UAS authorization, they must consult the safety coordinator of the school, okay? A remote pilot certificate with a small UAS rating pursuant to, okay, you have any idea how many people in Utah have the ability, have a remote pilot certificate that would cost next to nothing to hire so that they can do that? Okay. Like this is the level of red tape that you had to get around. Okay. They absolutely for sure could have been flying a drone. Now, why did he lie? Simple. Okay. Simple. Their principal got killed. Okay. You have one job if you're a security team, and that is to keep your principal safe. The principal being the person you're protecting. Okay? Bottom line, that's your only job. Your only job. Keep him safe. And if you can keep him feeling safe in addition to that, that's great. That's a bonus. But your number one priority is get them out of there unharmed. Charlie got shot and killed. So, in the words of my father, okay, that's a lot of noise, Jesse, but this is your grade, okay? This is the exact conversation I used to have with my dad all the time when I was under his roof and I got, not great grade on something that he was aware of. And I would try to explain myself. I'd be like, look, like I was blah, 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 It's hilarious to even think back on that. As a parent of a child who's pretty close to the age that I'm envisioning, she's like 2-3 years younger than I would have been in these situations. And my dad would literally just look at me and when I was young, I would be thinking to myself, he's not even listening to me. But now as an adult, he's like, what you're doing, this is just a lot of noise, lots and lots of noise. Okay. I don't care about any of the things that you're saying. This is your grade. Okay? This is bottom line. This is your grade. Blah, 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 blah. They used to call me a fountain of misinformation when I was a kid. Like this is when I was much younger, because I would just pretend that I knew all kinds of stuff about things that I apparently was wrong about. And so they were like, you're just like a fountain of misinformation. This is really funny, actually, to think about now. But now I pretend that I know things about things that I do know about. Or I don't pretend, I just talk about things I know. Nonetheless, okay, there's your grade, security, F. You failed. So you get an F. He's dead. Okay? And so, of course, they're going to be looking for a reason that this is not their fault. Maybe, right? Maybe it's not your fault, right? Like, I'm not pretending that you could give me all the military training in the world. And like, I mean, you know, if I have a 4-person team and there's a dedicated group that wants to whack out my principal and he is out in public all the time, they're going to get him eventually. I mean, bottom line, they're going to get him. So I'm not like really throwing stones at him, but you know, I mean, if you can minimize the threat, you're going to get complacent, whatever. But to say that you did not have the ability to fly a drone, that's not true. That's just not true. Well, we didn't have someone with a remote pilot's license. Well, did you know that you didn't have someone with a remote pilot's license in advance? Yes, I did. Did you know that Charlie wanted to be outside? Yes, I did. Did you think maybe like the ability to observe the rooftops would have, you know, drastically reduce the likelihood that Charlie would get shot if you had someone with a drone right there and you saw someone get into a prone position with a rifle? Do you think that would have been a good time to, hey, guy with a rifle on the roof, and then you get him out of there? You think that could have helped? Yes, I do think that, right? Of course. But you've done a million of these things. All of them have gone fine. He's never gotten shot. Nothing like that has ever happened. And complacency. Okay? Complacency is why he got killed. Now, before we get to Joy Reid, I just want to give you guys this quick story because, again, it is just indicative of how utterly trash the society that we live in is right this second, and everybody needs to get real serious about shaping up on this, okay? Like, this is crazy town, right? So, lavish new Broadway show closes prematurely after its A-list star hailed Charlie Kirk in the wake of his assassination. So, Kristen Chenoweth's new Broadway show will close months earlier than expected, amid the star's comments about Charlie Kirk, leading critics to suggest her sympathy for the slain conservative activist got the play canceled. The Queen of Versailles, which just opened November 9th, will hold its final performance January 4th after having previous dates listed through March 29th. The main character, Chenoweth, best known for playing Glinda in the online of Wicked, was the target of intense criticism in September after Kirk's assassination for offering support to his family in a social media post. Okay, she said, "I'm so upset. Didn't always agree, but appreciate some perspectives. What a heartbreak. His young family. I know where he is now, heaven, but still." And they canceled her Broadway show because she said that. Okay? These people are mental patients. Okay? Mental patients. Okay? And I wanted to read you that so that we can get to, here, look at this. Hey, look at this. These are some of the responses from people. Moral of the story, if you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. Bless her heart. Sarcasm. Unbelievable, dude. For those of you who thought the Queen of Versailles could survive the leading lady being exposed as MAGA friendly, the show is closing on January 4th, said Kevin James Benet. What a piece of shit. Okay. Kristen Chenoweth should have thought about that before she publicly betrayed the LGBTQ plus community who have loved and supported her career for decades. Shut up, dude. God, I would take these people and I would grab their faces, open their mouths, and vomit in their mouth. Like that is all I think. Like nothing like violent. I'm not trying to hurt them, but it's like that is what you elicit from me with a comment like that. It's like, oh my God, I just puke down their throat. Sympathizing with any rhetoric that positions him as a martyr is unacceptable. It was tough on me, but I'm going to answer any questions because I dealt with it. She said, it was tough. She said the backlash was tough on her. It was tough on me, but I'm not going to answer any questions about it because I just dealt with it. Jesus. It's pathetic, dude. These people are the scum of the earth. Okay? absolute scum of the earth. And it's hilarious because they actually think that this is similar to what we did, okay? Keep in mind, they think that this is the same as what they did or what we did, right? I guarantee you, I absolutely 100% guarantee you, okay, that if you talk to anyone that is on the other side of this, right? Like literally, like pick anyone who is like quoted or supports this or whatever. You pick any one of them and ask them why they think they're justified in doing this to her. And they'll go, oh, wait, well, you didn't have any problem with people getting fired for saying the opposite about Charlie Kirk. And you'd be like, huh? And they'd be like, remember, you guys were making lists and getting people fired. How is this any different? It's like, it's different because what she said is, oh my gosh, my heart is broken for his young family. I hope that he's in heaven and he's happy now. Okay? And what they said was, ha, 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 good riddance. You know, pretended that it was a good, like supported him getting killed. Okay, that's not the same thing. It's only the same thing if you live in a world where they are not human, where your enemies are not human. It's not the same. And if you're blind to that, you are a fucking moron. Jesse, why is Gabrielle in the shot? Because I decided adding this little dime piece is going to make the segment about Jordan Reed so funny that we're going to film it and it's going to be a separate video. Maybe on Play With Matches, so you should definitely go follow that channel as well.